Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone to our Power Peptides call. I'm Talia Bateman, and I
Hi.
love doing these calls. I love sharing my story with peptides, and I am joined tonight by my dear friend Laurel Judd. And I encourage you all just to stay on until the very end of this call because you do not want to miss her story. It's so good. And yeah, so I think we'll just jump right in here. Like I said, I have fallen in love with peptides. So for me, I started my peptide journey about only 8 weeks ago.
Crazy.
But we'll have
Oh, sorry.
Kristen.
They just
Kristen
abandoned it.
actually. That's okay. I got her. I started my peptide journey about 8 weeks ago, and um, it was kind of a surprise to me. I actually didn't know much about peptides at all. I just kind of associated the word peptide with a GLP-1. And I didn't know what I didn't know. I kind of just thought a GLP-1 was something that wasn't for me. I probably would never use it. And honestly, I didn't really understand it. So the fact that I'm here sharing the story with you just it's kind of surprising and amazing because once I did, once I did learn more about peptides, what I found was just absolutely amazing. So, the reason that I kind of had that shift in perspective was a couple different things. So, in February, I turned 45, and I have always been a really active person. I've tracked my macros for 11 years. I mean, religiously. I have always been really physically active, very, with very a strict regimen around all my workouts and my nutrition. And being healthy has always been just part of what I value and who I am. So, I kind of thought I had everything under control. Like I thought, all right, I got this midlife thing good. I've heard all these stories about how things change after you hit 40. That's not going to happen to me. Like I'm good. Well, as soon as I hit 45, I am telling you, things just started actually going the opposite direction. I started gaining weight. I started gaining fat. I started feeling just really crappy. And now looking back on it, I realized that this had kind of been slowly happening to me for at least 3 years. But in February, it really kind of came to a head. And I thought, something is just off. Like my body is not responding the way it used to. Um, and and I must be missing something, but I didn't really think it was peptides. I kind of was saddened by the fact of like, well, maybe this is just how people feel in midlife and I have to accept it, but I didn't want to accept that. And so I kind of became a little bit more open-minded and um I also, going back when I was pregnant with my three kids, I actually failed my glucose test every time. And so I remember my doctor saying, once you get into like your mid 40s, you're going to be dealing with insulin resistance. That's just the way that my body is, right? And so I had a lot of inflammation, and I kind of had this light bulb moment of like, I wonder if this is insulin resistance that's happening now. And so I had a conversation with my friend Laurel, and she opened my eyes to peptides in general, not just GLP-1s, but there are dozens of peptides. There's a peptide for everything. And like I said, I just didn't know what I didn't know. And I went down this rabbit hole of um, trying to educate myself. And in doing so, I found out that peptides are actually really healing for the body. They're just these mini proteins that are meant to help your body signal to help your cells signal to one another. And that's it. It wasn't this big scary thing. It was just a tool. And so that's when I I actually placed an order with Ellie because I was interested in microdosing a GLP-1. And in the last 8 weeks, I will tell you, I lost 7 pounds of inflammation within the first week. I don't even like saying that out loud because I'm just going to tell you, it's not actual weight, it's not fat loss. That was how inflamed my body was. And I didn't even realize it. So I lost 7 pounds of inflammation, and then I did lose a few more pounds of fat loss since then, and I've also gone down 2% in my body fat percentage. I'm actually following a really a plan where I track all of these things because I want to know like how this affects my body, and like so far so good. I actually upped my protein goal and my macros, and I've been able to hit it with ease because I am eating cleaner than ever before. I didn't realize how much food noise I had until I wasn't thinking about food all day. Um, it has cleared up so much mental space for me to be able to concentrate and actually like focus on productivity instead of when am I going to eat again next. I guess I didn't really realize that that was even something that I did until I didn't anymore. And it has completely regulated my hormones. Like I used to have some pretty intense mood fluctuations, a couple days every month. I'm not noticing that anymore. I added an NAD a few weeks ago, and that has helped tremendously with my energy levels and focus. And I also added on glutathione, and just in time too, because I actually had COVID last week, and I was super sick. I had an IV nurse come and give me fluids in my home, and she looked at my NAD and my glutathione, and she said, "You need to take these every single day because they will help your body heal when COVID's trying to do its thing." And I'm telling you, I turned it around like really quickly. As you can see, like I'm not even coughing, I have no lingering. I'm not saying it cured COVID. I'm saying that it definitely helped my body with the healing process. So where I'm headed with this is I want to tell everybody about this because I think a few things. There's a lot of misinformation floating around about peptides, about GLP-1s. I think like any sort of product out there, there's really great quality and then there's poor quality. And Ellie is just an amazing quality product. They are prescription grade peptides. They're triple purified and they go through 503A compounding pharmacies. So you're actually getting the cleanest, most pure form of the peptide for your body. And I love that. And I love that um, all of these peptides go through telehealth providers so that I can get the dosage and the amount of the peptide that I need that's personalized to me. There's no guesswork here. Ellie does it all for you. So it was really a no-brainer to start sharing this as, I mean, I am a business coach, I'm a health coach, I'm a life coach, I'm all the coaches, and I believe in holistic wellness. So, 10 years ago when I started talking about supplements, people thought I was crazy. Now I'm talking about peptides, but I truly think number one, peptides are here to stay. In the next 2 years, we're going to have 70% of the population using peptides, and it's not going to be what peptides, it's going to be where do you get your peptides? And for me, there's no doubt that I want the quality and the education and the care that I'm getting through LEMD. So I also want people to know like it's okay to leave the good to go for the great. Like I'm actually reading that book for my professional job right now, and I'm thinking everybody always talks about that in the professional space with business. Why are we not doing this for our own health? Like to feel good is one thing, but can you feel great? Like that's what these tools are for, so that we can really optimize our health while we're here. We don't know how long we're going to be able to be on this planet, but I know that while I'm here, I want to be the most vibrant, the most healthy, the best feeling version of myself, and peptides are here to support me in doing that. So that's kind of where I'm at now, and I would like to turn the call over to my dear friend Laurel Judd. You guys, I don't even know how to introduce her, except in my eyes, she is the queen of peptides. She is a savvy business owner. She has two brick and mortar businesses that are absolutely thriving, and she is on a mission to heal the community. In addition to that, she is the wife of a Green Beret, and I just respect her so much for so many things, and I can't wait for her to share her story with you. So, Laurel, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thank you, Talia. That was such a nice intro, and I hope you don't mind my daughter's next to me because husband deployed. And I love your story too, Talia. So, just a little preface, I do have pretty bad ADD, so I go around in circles like a lot of entrepreneurs, but my health journey has been a while. So, after I had my daughter in 2017, I got really sick and I had something called breast implant illness and Hashimoto's. Well, no one knew what was going on. Eventually, I got my implants removed, and that's how I started the infrared sauna. I was a psychologist working for the military, and that's when I started realizing that our healthcare wasn't great. Doctors didn't even look at my physical labs. They just immediately said, you're depressed, you've postpartum, never once looked at a lab. So, and prior to that, I was a Division I athlete, never had any health issues. So I didn't know about our medical care system. And as everyone knows, especially post COVID, the medical system isn't as good as we'd like it to be. It's not preventative. It's let's tackle it after it happens. So, anyway, moving forward, got my implants out, started infrared sauna, and I went down a rabbit hole of health. I started paying attention to everything I ate. I found out I had MTHFR, which probably I think you guys know about. You don't detox properly. So, really, my entire life on top of taking care of my daughter was really just figuring out how to get better. So fast forward, open a business, and then I opened a second one. And I was about 80% better because I focused on whatever I could do, whether it was eating healthy, exercise, sauna, floating, I would do it. And probably thousands of dollars in supplementation and holistic doctors. And I was about 80% better, which to me I could do because coming from about 20%, I mean, I look terrible and I have before and after pictures. I woke up every day feeling like I had the flu or I had cancer. So to me, 80% better was fine. Um, but there was this lingering, like, I'm a perfectionist and I want more from the world. So I'm like, man, it'd be so cool if I could feel 100% better. Last summer around this time, a local aesthetics girl kept saying to me, you know, we have these microdose of tirzepatide. I really think that you should try it, or the weight loss dose, I should say. And I really was like, all I heard about was Ozempic is so bad. It's like made out of lizard venom. Like, I'm sure a lot of people really have these thoughts like, this is going to kill you. It's going to lock your stomach. That's what I was thinking about. And in my head, I thought, well, eventually, either I'll lose those 20 pounds or no one says I'm fat, I'll just deal with it. So, so anyway, I saw her progress, and because she was like me, she owned a CrossFit. She was very, very muscular. She wasn't obese. So to me, it was a woman that really just had to lose 20 to 30 pounds of inflammation. And I finally did it. I finally started taking the tirzepatide in November of last year. And similar to Talia, within the first month, I saw one, I could control my eating. That was big for me. And I started doing a Lose It tracking app. So, how I think of the GLP-1s is it actually is a tool to help me do everything that I should have been doing before, but I either couldn't because of life and we just put ourselves last, or it's just too hard. So lost 8 pounds. And then by the third month, I had no pain. And that was something that I really didn't expect. Having Hashimoto's, I just thought that I'd have some neck pain, especially around PMS. And that's something I would have and probably get worse forever. And I'm not sure how many of you know this, but GLP-1s are now being used to treat stuff like addiction, autoimmune issues, the list goes on. And that was it for me. And then I was sold. And for me, I'm very hyper focused. Once I like something, that is it. And I try, it's so complicated to me because there's so much to talk about and we're learning so much more. But all I know is I want to be on these peptides the rest of my life, period, end of story. And that's to me the seller. Like I had to really I think about, and I'm glad that it happened to me, how I thought so poorly in the fear-based of a GLP-1, and now to, oh my gosh, my life, I'm 30 pounds lighter. I have zero inflammation, and numbers don't lie. I went to a holistic doctor for my annual exam. I did not tell him I was on a GLP-1 because I didn't want him to, like, one, read my labs differently or just have any influence on his thought of my health. And he came back and he said, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "Why?" He said, "Your labs are literally perfect. Everything is green, minus testosterone. I'm a little bit low." But he said, "Whatever you're doing, keep doing it." And I said, "I'm actually just microdosing a GLP-1." And he's like, "Man, that's amazing. We're starting to look into it." So now all these functional holistic doctors are using GLP-1s. So the ticket for me is really, and this is on the selling side of peptides, getting people to where I was at, the fear based, to you've got to come on this side because your life is going to be so much better. And truly, I wake up every day and I'm excited because no matter how stressed I am or what comes my way, I look really good in my clothes. And that is awesome. And I feel good. Like, and people all the time are like, "What did you do?" They didn't think I had to lose weight before, but now they see me happy. And another thing, like off side note, in America, especially in the South, we think of like 20 to 30 pounds as healthy. Well, yeah, I was about 163 pounds at 5'6". Now I'm 135, and people never thought I had to lose weight. But now they see how much healthier I am. My labs are better, and it is good. So, whatever I can do to help people, I'm all in with Ellie. So the way that my transition to Ellie, I was, like I said, I was getting my tirzepatide from a local anesthetics place. And then I switched because they could no longer sell their tirzepatide. I started doing Ivum online, which is an online provider, and there's hundreds of them. And I was paying even more than I do with any other Ellie included. And then I went down the research peptide route. And that was really interesting to me because I was like in this whole group, and you could just go in a rabbit hole where you're doing all these research peptides. The problem is you don't know what you're putting into your body. And people started buying under me. I was an affiliate for a research peptide place. But one, I was getting an influx of all these people saying, "How much BAC water do I add? Or what happens if I take two shots or too many?" And I couldn't have that behind my name. I couldn't imagine someone like dying or going to the hospital because they didn't put the right BAC in it. So I switched gears, pushed Talia for the last, what, like 6 to 8 months to go on a GLP-1 or peptides, and she wouldn't do it. She was scared. And then she actually approached me with Ellie. And I respect Talia. I know she's classy and she wouldn't go with anything that wasn't um, very good and professional. So I think this fits right into my whole brand of like, not only am I offering something to heal someone, but it's from the best company. And I love that Ellie is triple filtered 503A. I can put it in my studio and not worry that someone is going to get sick or not get a good product. Like that's very important to me. So couldn't say enough good things, and I'm really excited. I've only been with Ellie about a month, but I love everything about it. I love the packaging. I love that I know all the products are good. I like how I feel on them. And that is something that I can't say for every peptide I've used. That's pretty much my story. And I love helping people, especially women.
Oh, thank you so much. That's was so good. And I love your mission. It's always been for the length of time I've known you, I've always known your mission is to heal the community and from the inside out with your saunas, with your education around holistic wellness, and now with peptides. And so I just appreciate you coming on here and sharing your story. And I hope to hear it many, many more times because I was just telling Laurel before we got on this call, like I feel like my story is just starting, right? Like where are we going to be a year from now, 2 years from now? We can't say enough good things about peptides, about Ellie. It does matter where you get them. And the cool thing about Ellie, you guys, is like Laurel and I, we don't have the peptides. We don't sell them to you. We actually just connect you with a local provider. We are a telehealth concierge company, and we will connect you with a local provider in your state. And again, they will review your health history and they will prescribe you peptides based on you, your height, your weight, your goals. And so even if you're not interested in a GLP-1, like I said, there are peptides for everything. There's peptides for energy, peptides for immunity, peptides for hair, skin, and nails, peptides for strengthening your muscles, leaky gut, you name it, there's a peptide for it. So what we'd like to encourage you to do is reach out to the person who directed you to this Zoom and ask that person how you can get connected through Ellie with a provider in your area. And and we just want to say thank you again for joining us. I will put the recording out, so please feel free to share. And we'll see you on another Power of Peptide Zoom in the coming weeks. So thank you all for joining us, and everybody have a great night.
Is Talia?
Bye.